are here in the second largest city in Slovenia known as Maribor. It is easily one of the riders' favorite stops on the UCI mountain bike downhill world circuit. This week we will follow Scott Downhill Factory Racing team member Dean Lucas to understand his racing process and what exactly makes him tick. Landing himself in the top 10 overall in the 2019 series, only for that momentum to be put on pause when he was forced to sit out the entire 2020 season due to COVID. Known for its optimistic outlook on life and racing, let's go take a closer look what it really takes to perform on the world stage.
Goddamn lomers!
Are you able to describe Dean Lucas in one word?
Different. Friendly.
Special.
Oh, crazy guy.
Oh, crazy man!
He's just pretty much just a peacock. You gotta let him fly, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude! Whoa! The race is on Sunday, bud. It's cool to see someone that doesn't care what everyone else thinks.
Really solid competitor, but with some crazy aspects that are very interesting.
Here for a good time, and if it's a good time, it might be a long time, so yeah.
It's so scary one-handed.
It's quite terrifying.
No, break that whole thing.
Oh, terrifying.
I think you'd break a hip. We've injured Dean.
I was pretty
I've almost landed on his head, jumping over him.
Yeah, what can we do
And
next?
now-
What can we do next to really
yeah.
it messed me up?
Good morning. Morning.
So did you fake an injury to get a massage, or how does this pre-race?
I think you gotta sell it a little bit, but actually do have quite a sore back. I think the 10-hour commute from Morzine made it a bit sore, but yeah, lucky enough we got a physio to sort everything out and make you feel $1 million again, which is good.
Amazing.
So
Yeah, you guys are pretty spoiled. You got food taken care of.
I feel like it's
physios?
I feel like it's a bit of a trip. I'll just be like going to get a massage and like laying there and just kind of look around. Your bike's getting serviced and everything's happening, and I feel like a bit of a baby really. Everything's sorted out for you. You've just got to go race down a hill really quick. You need to know yourself and you need to know your own routine and have a good routine, and I find like I'm happy with what I need to do now. I go hang out with a lot of people in the pits as well, and I think that's a part of my routine. Like some people kind of shut off and go into their own little bubble, where I kind of open up more, and I feel like when I'm opened and going to chat and talk shit with people, I feel like more relaxed. So you always see me floating around the pits talking with people, having a laugh, kind of messing around, and I think that's good for the soul, and the soul's full, you normally go fast.
I look normal.
Well, and yeah. Compared to how you normally look, you look normal.
Oh, we're ready to go.
Alright, so a key aspect to a World Cup weekend is getting to do track walk. That's the first time the riders are going to see the track for the week. Dean and his teammates, they're going to share like opinions, options, even though they need to ride it to see what will work. There's a lot you can get from track walk.
Yeah, like through there. I was going to say, this is where you like know if you've been doing your push-ups or not, because I think you get about 3 Gs in the first corner and then maybe 6 in the second corner.
Hallelujah! 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 I feel it! Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel this for me? They are happy. What do you think?
Track walk, it's just like, you get a rough idea, but it's all going to change anyway.
Yeah, you think some people might read too much into it and cause like extra stress on lines that won't be there by Sunday anyway?
Exactly. I see people stuck on a section, they're like, what do I do? What do I do? I'm like, look man, like that line's going to change by tomorrow anyway. So it's like, get a rough idea and then have a look tomorrow when actually people ride it and you're on a bike. So it's like, you get stuck in your own head sometimes, even like the rock garden, it looks worse than it is. But
Yeah, when you ride it, if you had never seen it, you would probably ride a pretty decent line the first go, just subconsciously.
Yeah, if you just said, oh, we're doing a rock garden and I rode behind you, I'd just go through it. But when you walk, you're like, oh, how do you ride this? But yeah, a lot of people get stuck in their own head, but I kind of just like not brush through it, but like not read too much into everything.
Nice. It's first day practice here in Maribor. The bikes are getting their final checks, checking tire pressures. Riders are getting kitted up, warmed up. It's a really interesting day, but it's pretty much the calm before the storm, because from now, the pressure starts building to Sunday when the race happens.
Just keep talking, I'll just keep moving the whole time.
Eventually you got to take this race in seriously. Eventually. Oh wait, Sunday. But expectations
I like
for
how
the
you
day?
think I'm going to change for Sunday. Nothing's changing.
No, you said you can't. You got to.
That's impossible.
But expectations for the day? How do you go about building a practice?
Have lots of fun, get loose, scare myself at least twice, and I want to do at least one good time training run.
Yeah, you said you were going to put a little bit of effort into time training to gauge maybe where you are and what you can improve for the next day.
I think today's the day to actually like kind of put a gauge onto where I'm at, and I think this is the track to do it. So yeah, build some confidence from today, I think.
Yeah, nice. And anything you've changed on the bike, or is it basically your testing setup that you'll start the first run on?
Pretty similar. We put a bit more air in the forks and slowed them down a little bit, just because it's so hot here. That obviously like it's going to heat up and like be a bit faster. So we slowed down just a tad, and then put a bit more air, just to kind of keep you out of those big holes that I reckon are going to form pretty quick. So yeah, besides that, it's all just standard.
The base setup to
yeah.
start with.
Yeah, but no, it feels good.
It's not all rainbows and lollipops, kids. Sometimes you take dirt naps. They're not so fun.
Started pretty good, lots of smiles.
Yeah, it still smiles.
Looked fun.
Still smiles.
Throughout the day. Looked like a bit of a war zone out there, and you ended up huge crash to end the day.
Yeah, I went off for my time run. I was actually feeling pretty good. I got to the last proper corner, and I was rolling my tyre in the turn and just got catapulted off. But I was feeling good before that. I think I was like sitting like 8th or 9th on the split, the 4 split. So grim. So grim. So I felt pretty solid actually. Like to do a full run, I felt solid even towards the bottom. I wasn't really fatigued or anything. Just it's one of those things where it kind of goes wrong. And it was actually, I'm running pretty low pressures this weekend just because of how loose it is. And I think it's just like the low pressure and hitting it that hard, it rolled. But it's one of those things, shit happens and keep moving forward. But I think I might maybe add an extra PSI in the front and be a bit more cautious going into it next time. That shoulder's a bit sore, but I think we'll be alright. We'll strap it up. We've got a physio, so you can sort it all out.
Today is qualification day here at Maribor World Cup. It is really the first taste the riders are going to get to gauge their speed against their competitors. Yesterday was one of the fiercest days I've seen at a World Cup. There were quite a lot of crashes. The course is running fast, very dry, but very rough. Our very own Dean had a big crash last practice run in his timed run. But you can sense today is quali day. The riders are a little bit quieter. You can see they're going through their GoPro footage to just fine-tune this run that they need to put down this afternoon. So you can see the energy's changing. There's a lot more pressure that's kind of coming out. It's going to be a great day out there.
Throughout the week from first day practice, you come with a base setup that you guys have been training and testing in Morzine. Did you go anywhere with the suspension now that the track's getting more beat up and rougher, now that we're getting into race day tomorrow and things like that?
No, we haven't really played around with that. We've tried to get a really good base setting going on the suspension. It's mainly just brakes. We're trying different brake pads. The brakes get such a hard time on a fast, steep, super fast track. It'd be nice if they slowed them down a little bit, because you see all the injuries that have happened this week. I mean, I think the tracks are getting very, very dangerous. And it scares me sometimes, and you've got to stick a rider off on this bike and he's trusting you with his life. Because if anything goes wrong, I don't even want to talk about it. But it's just like, it's that sort of thing that you've really got to, just everything just has to be perfect, down to each spoke tension, and yeah.
Alright Dean, we're relaxing now after a pretty long day for you guys, but talk us through quali.
Quali wasn't too bad. The first practice run was a bit of an eye-opener. Obviously I was pretty sore after yesterday's tumble, so a lot of stretching this morning and like prep to kind of get warmed up, and I honestly didn't know how it was going to go, but surprisingly well. I couldn't really like lift my arms above my head properly, but like when you're actually riding in that position, it was kind of, I don't know, I guess you're a bit stronger there and it wasn't so sore, so it was pretty good. It was like the top half, I always feel like I'm attacking pretty well, and then I kind of get in my own head at the bottom because I'm not a protected rider, and then after Leo gang where I crashed and didn't qualify, it kind of plays on my mind a bit, so I always seem to get a bit over halfway, and then I kind of, oh, okay, you're on a good one, I know I can qualify with a steady run, so I kind of turn it back a little bit, but you can't do that anymore. As soon as you do that, you're out the back.
Yeah, I would say like every year obviously it's going to progress, but it sees every race this season is progressing, the pace, the depth, so
you just got to throw everything at it. Like that's the thing, and I know when I go into a race run, I throw everything at it. So I just need to start doing that more in quali. If it goes the wrong way, it goes the wrong way. But this whole kind of cruising down to just get in, I'm just getting a bit sick of it. Like I'd almost rather go for it and crash.
And some riders have specific routine or a specific meal they might eat. Have you got a process or routine for the night before the race?
Not really too much, I kind of just same as quali. I feel like you try and change too much for race day, it kind of, you probably get in your own head a little bit. I feel like it's like all you got to do is just go ride your bike down the hill again. So I'm like, just do everything you've already been doing. Just make sure I get to sleep early, make sure I do a lot of stretching. I normally do maybe some breath work before I go to sleep, and maybe like a little bit of meditation, like guided stuff, but like nothing crazy, just kind of chill out, get my own zone, make sure I'm in bed early, have a good sleep.
We've made it to finals day here in Maribor. The whole week has been leading up to this very moment. 3 minutes in time. The finals is this afternoon. There's a last little bit of practice this morning. The pace is always ridiculous in morning practice, and my word, you can feel the pressure building. It is going to be an amazing day.
So as I sit here with nose buds up my nose, halfway up a Slovenian mountain, I'm thinking, this is a pretty cool job. Like, we all seem to complain a lot, like the riders, myself at times, but it is pretty rad. It's very stressful, but it's rad. And you look around and like half the people here are your buddies or your best mates. At the end of the day, it's like everyone's always stoked, everyone's happy, and it's a pretty damn cool environment to be a part of. This is like the cherry, the rest of it's the cake. So let's see if we can get a good cherry on top.
Dean, talk us through your finals race run and say maybe what you're going to take away from it.
It wasn't bad, like the top was quite good. I felt like I hit some solid lines, but I just wasn't really pushing the edge and like I should, and like at the bottom I definitely like felt like trying to be clean and then I was just losing time. Like I know I do this thing where I kind of think about my runs, and then as soon as I think about it, you kind of out of that focus state. So definitely towards the bottom I kind of got out of it, but I think maybe after I don't know, I still work out why I kind of toned it down. It's kind of a bit frustrating, but still happy to like get down healthy. A lot of people got carted off this weekend, went to hospital, so like to walk away is like I'll take a win out of that.
And looking back at the whole week, can you talk to us sort of, you know, being able to maybe not define yourself with this finals run? Like,
that's the thing. It's like I'm still like right now I'm still trying to, I guess, process the whole thing. So I'm like, might not look as stoked as I am with like the whole weekend, but like if you're not quite where you need to be, I definitely go into a bit of thought about like what I could have done, but it doesn't really affect my mood on like a negative or a positive. It's just like, what can I learn from this? How do I go forward from this? And like, what can I get out of it? But yeah, do some thinking, come back, Worlds in a couple of weeks, and yeah, have another crack at it.
Nice.
Good.